Yeah, so we're up to the through remembering, as he says, the machshava. Where am I here? In the voice Gimel. So even though the Yechid is completely concealed and therefore it's mikrovli, and therefore there's a need for a pedia, nonetheless, it's B'Shalom because he remembers the Inyan HaYechid. His achlotas are accordingly, as we talked about yesterday. So further elaboration was that B'Shalom means actually two directions, Melamayla Lamata, Melamata Lamayla. The question was, why is there a direction Melamata Lamayla when we're talking about Kibarabim HaYimodi, Giloy of Yechida? So when Yechida is revealed, as you said before, the Nefesh Bahamis is completely in this battle. There are no foreign wills at all in the face of Yechida. So why is there a movement Mulamata Lamaila? Again, underscoring that we're not talking about Giloy Yechida in a revealed, fully revealed way, but rather there is the avoid of Mulamata Lamaila. There is the Mikravli. The person we're talking about is us. And Hadrabah, there is a Maila in this avoid of Mulamata Lamaila. She started to explain in Oisei as follows. There's two efanim in the middle of the menagid, two ways. The way from below is that the lower, from below to above, the lower is not this battle. But he agrees. That's what a beautiful Maila means. So as we learned in the order 26, it's asked, we finished it. So the Nefesh Bahamis is masking, agrees. Not only we could say it is your right, but it is right. And the Nefesh Bahamis also wants therefore to be connected to Likus and Avat Likus. But still, that's the Maila. The Chsoden here is that there's still a Metzias of Nefesh Bahamis. And conceivably, it could change its mind, find something else more attractive. So therefore, up to the number 28 in the text, moreover, he said, the Nefesh Bahamis in such a way, even when it's masking, the Pnimius, Behelem, its opposition to Likus remains. It has to remain because fundamentally the starting point of the Nefesh Bahamis, the starting point of us consciously is the self. So if it's the starting point of the self, so now I love Yiddishkeit, I love godliness, but if the starting point is I love, then the opposition is right there and could translate in actual opposition. So now in the middle then of the ice, just if you see the number 28, just above that. Everybody has it? Yeah?
Yeah.
Good news.
Bitla menagid. So in order there should be the true bitl, the number 6 has to be it. Someone's trying to get in. Please. I'm sorry.
What do you do?
Just pick it up and hit the number 6. Pick up the receiver and hold number 6 down for a moment, and that's it. That's it, they're in. Thank you. So in order for that to be the bit lamanagi, so that's how you day a beautiful bederach milamayla lamata. So the biru milamata lamayla, which engages the askom of the nefesh habahamis, is not a complete bittul because it's based on that scum of the nefesh habahamis. And again, the nefesh habahamis, the self, fundamentally is selfish. So now I want godliness, which is wonderful. I come to recognize that's the truth, but it's all I want godliness. I want meaning in my life too. So if it's I want meaning in my life also, I'm asking, Nefesh Elikis, you've got the address. Elikus is the address, Yiddishkeit is the address, and I want it also. Fine. But if I want it also, then the fundamental opposition, which is the I, which is an opposition of the truth of Ein Mulvade, remains. Which means conceivably there could be an open, not inspired right now, and the arguments don't convince me today, and off he goes. So therefore, in order for there to be the bittul of the menagid, truly is a gilim elamayla lamata. Day, by the number 28. Oh, good morning. Good yontif, I should say. Sorry. Second shelf, right-hand corner. Well, I did. I made some copies. I made some more copies. It should be there. I made 3 copies yesterday. Okay, here. There you go. She's verbringed all night, and that's why you're able to come this morning.
Couldn't sleep anyway.
Yeah. Hey, Tavis, the neshama is pumping. So by the page Ayin Beis, number 28, the number 28 in the text. So Yideshim is galabat tachten gila oishein berechelav. So when there's a gila that's totally beyond the person, and mizbatim tziyusay, then he's nizbat. This is more than askoma, more than I agree. It's complete bit. What is that? Ba'avidus adam hu da Yideshim nirgish b'nefesh habahamis. The nefesh habahamis feels. Av the nefesh elikish l'mayim mitam v'das. We feel, the nefesh habahamis feels the love of the nefesh elikis, which is totally beyond discussion and debate, beyond reason. Talking about a love that in general is a love that is higher than the heart, than the keli, the limits of the heart, implying it flows over from the heart and sweeps along the nefesh habahamis. This is really the tzaddik gomer he speaks about in Tanya. This is the tzaddik gomer. It's an ava rabba. He says that I'll tell you words that it flows over. Godush fills the heart and flows over. It's an ava betanugim, and it's the whole mitzvah of nefesh habahamis. Its opposition is this battle, and moreover, becomes transformed. Ishapche, which is shlemayla and biskafia. The first one was askoma, which is kind of iskafia. But here it's at the transformation. Now, look at Order 29 that I want to read to you. What he says there, Order 29. See, I am based there. See there an example. When the accuser is talking about 2 opposing ministers, defender and accuser, and whatever the issue. And then the king walks into this whole debate, and the king is inclined towards chesed, to benevolence in the particular issue. And he's the loyal servant. He's a minister of the king. He's just arguing forcibly his position that the person is guilty. Then the king expresses his love. It's not only he agrees with the king, he himself becomes a defendant. See Barucha Maamer Macha Chedesh HaTavshin Yud Aleph. And I want to read it to you. The salient point of the Maamer, page 53. That white safer here. Yeah, I just translate here. Very beautiful. So we're talking about h'tשכ. Not iskafia, but h'tשכ, transformation. In translation, this will be understood from a moshel of a judge of a court case where there's an accuser and a defender. So the accuser can be neutralized two ways. One is through the arguments of the defense, that he argues for the merit and affects not only the judge, but the opposition has to agree that the arguments are valid. And he surrenders. No, has it in the court case? What does he say? No more an expression of surrendering. Whatever. That's one way. So he's convinced. Now, obviously, the accuser, what's we're looking for, the accusation, doesn't become. He doesn't start arguing for his defense. He just stops arguing for his liability, because he hears the arguments of the defender. So his arguments are silenced, and he's silent. He's not arguing now. 1 second. Now bringing further arguments for the acquittal. It's just that the accuser is silenced. Furthermore, interesting point here. Since the whole victory here, as it were, came as a result of the arguments. So there is a certain weakness even in the defense, because he hears, at least temporarily, the counter arguments. He hears that even though he's arguing for his defense, there are arguments for his liability, l'chayva. So interestingly enough, here he's saying that even the defendant is somewhat weakened by the fact that there's an argument to be made that the person is guilty, even if the end result is that the defendant's arguments hold sway, the judge agrees, and the opposition is silenced. That's one way of. Then there's a higher way, and that is the gili of opening melachayim, meaning when the king enters into the courtroom. So then all the opinions on this battle. In Yiddish is eis kaneged, eis kateged, eis saneged. There's no defense, there's no accuser, there's no defender. And when the king expresses his view of innocent, etc., so even the accuser argues for his defense. That's the ma'ila. The chesron of all of this, however, is that it's all happening because of the king, not really him. Actually, he says, but he's misbattled, but derech mamela is completely nullified because of the king. And he's a loyal servant of the king. And the king's expressed his view this way. He argues it too. So he still remains a kategor. Then there's another oif. That's what we're looking at here now. But then there's another way in his h'tשכ that has both milas, complete transformation from within, not just because of a revelation of the king. And that is, listen to these words here. It doesn't say it here. He's talking about that. Maybe he will later. Listen to these words here, friends of the Maamer. What causes transformation? What causes transformation is when the Ra himself feels that he's Ra. In Yiddish, he's uncomfortable with himself, from his own matzav. So this is not, a convincing argument. This is not even in the face of overwhelming truth and complete surrender and say the right words and be on the side of right. This is his own matzav is intolerable. And therefore, quote, he leaves his ra, he leaves that he can't be here. And he becomes tov. And this is not oir pnei melachim, this is not the light of the king, but this is a gilui of the helem ha'atzmi. This is the essential truth that he, even, that is in everything. It's not a gilui oir. He's come to touch his own truth. His own truth is that he's a creation of God, and therefore to live a life not an expression of that is a lie. The words of the Maimon again, that head, he acknowledges his own Ra, that he is Ra. Svetim Eng, and Eng means just uncomfortable. So this is not a Giloi, this is not Oir, it's not a Ziva order, but this is the Helam Atzmi that comes from the Atzmi, is the very essence of the king, which is their essence, the essence of everyone equally. Hanosi HaKoil, which is what ha'tevis is all about, which we'll talk about in the remaining minutes. Let's continue though. I must say it here in the Maimon, because till now was Ba'ipni Melachayim. It's not, so let's have a look. Oh, that's what's coming now. This seems what he said. We just not. Okay, let's see. So this is the third. The first one was Islapshus. No, in order here. Yeah, the first one was Islapshus, Lamata, Lamaila. That's the winning arguments. The second one is a Gilui, is this battle. Now, I don't understand this, but he says in the second one is this Nepach L'Tov. So there's two levels of Iskapia. Let's see further. We'll reserve comment. The from Beshalom Shana said he's Nepach L'Tov, because what in the example that we gave, the accusing, the what's not accusation? What's the word? No, the prosecutor. Thank you. The prosecutor in the presence of the king expressing his opinion now becomes also a defendant. But still, as the Maimon said, it's because of the king. It's because he's arguing all the right arguments. He's on the right side of the law, which the king lays down. But it's not the true Isafre. So now a third way, which we describe now in the Maimon, where it's coming really from within. It's at the etzem, the essence, not the light, as it were. From Beshalom, is another. The third way is this, that at the outset he was on opposition. He now becomes a lover, not an opposer. B'loshen HaKosev, the pasuk says about on the pasuk Pada B'Shalom Nafshi. David the Melech says, "Ki barabim hoyimodi, for the many were with me. Gam oivav yashlim ito." Even his enemies made peace with him on his side. That the people Anshe Avshalom, who led the rebellion against David the Melech, Avshalom's people are praying for David the Melech's success, victory. So this happens. This we're going back to the first way. But didn't we say the first way is he's just being masculine? So this is again the Ian Atzmi now, what it seems. This is both together. Marlis of both. When it's from below to above, if it's from coming from below, from within, so this that he doesn't oppose is because he's in this battle. I'm sorry, when it's from Lamayla Lamat, I'm sorry, then his arguments are silenced because of the Gilui Oir. There's no real change in the prosecution. Nefesh Abamis the Tevis Hapche. So this is the second one we said again, when the king expresses his opinions, even though there's a tremendous giloi, and in the words of the Nefesh Abamis is experiencing the great love of the Nefesh Elikis, which is hide and seichel, and that transforms him into, he wants this too. His hapche still, it's still not coming from within. And the Rabbi, that's a great love. The Nefesh Elikis is batel is therefore the Nefesh Abamis mitzvah. The motion for that is, so the Nefesh Abamis become this battle. That's the king that comes into the courtroom and expresses his opinion, and towards benevolently towards the one on the dock. And so now the accuser also argues for his favor. That's only because of the king. So he's in this battle. That the true transformation, the true transformations, it's got to come from the Nefesh Abamis itself. Like we learned in the Maamar, it comes from the Etzem. He's just not comfortable being where he is. He recognizes his own Ra. That's Malamata Lamayla. So it seems I need to learn further to make sure that we got this clear. So there's two ways.
Ha'ora 32.
Ha'ora 32. Yeah. It seems, and I need to go further to learn further and learn it again. That there's two, he's saying it, there's two ways. I'm drawing on the Maamar from Tavshin Yudalev to make this distinction. It's not so clear as what we're learning here now. The first way is with Seichel and arguments. He's masking. Here we're not talking Askam, we're talking true transformation, but it's still Malamata Lamayla. And the critical difference, as we learned in the Maamar Tavshin Yudalev, is not only you're right, but I'm wrong. My place is not untenable, not true. What's the fundamental I'm wrong? My fundamental ego. That's my mitzias is the problem. The fact that I love this, and it starts with the I rather than with the you, that is the problem. Maybe they made it this way, that we should feel first and foremost ourselves. But whenever Nefesh starts to feel that is a corruption, not the truth, by divine design that I should overcome, that's when the transformation happens. That's not so clear, the Isis of the Maamar here, but as we says the Tavshin Yudalev, which is what he's referring to. Okay, we need to further Ian, but we'll leave it at that.